Hey, how's it going, guys? This is your boy Hazzed, and today I'm going to be addressing the nerf that's coming up in the 6.2 hot patch nodes. So let's talk about those right now. Here we're looking at the 6.2 hotfixes and what they're thinking about doing. None of this is set in stone, guys, so it can change. But here's what's going on. The hotfixes in testing Frost Strike and Obliterate have been reduced to their 6.2 pre-levels, which basically mean Obliterate's being nerfed by 20%, which doesn't affect us because that 20% never affected players for us anyways, guys, so you don't really have to worry about that, which basically puts it back to where it was. So that's cool. But the problem is Frost Strike is being nerfed by 20% with that, which is like kind of painful. And yeah, 20%, okay, yeah, we see that Frost Strike's hitting way too hard. It's hitting harder than Obliterate, guys. So the changes to what's the next thing? The changes to Frozen Might remains in place, which basically means that 30% attack power buff that they made attack power scale better with Frost Strike is still in place. So that big damage buff is still there. And Obliterate again once deals full damage to players, which basically means that 4% that was lost with the damage reduction is back. So basically we are back to where we were 6.1 before the damage reduction. But here's the good thing. They are nerfing Howling Blast by 13.5%, but they buffed that up by 25%, which basically gonna means that we get half that buff. So if we're forced to go back two-hander, we're still gonna get that buff. So that's absolutely amazing. If something bad happens and we're forced to do this, we are ready for it. And let's see, the last one is the change to Howling Blast area damage remains in place and continues to deal full damage to enemies within range. So that's great. The giant area effect damage is still in place for Howling Blast. We're still getting a slight buff for that. So all in all, guys, what does this mean? Well, honestly, it's going to take dual wield down a notch or two, and I believe dual wield is going to be set back to the point to where 1v1ing other classes is definitely not going to be the most viable thing because they still are a glass cannon with how they're set up, and without some kind of slight defense buff, I believe that dual wield frost decays are going to go back to kind of being how they were, how they always get suppressed back, and not quite as well played as two-hand. So what does that mean, what we're going to do, guys? Well, if dual wield doesn't turn out to be as great or anywhere near as good as it's going to be, we can still go two-handed. Two-handed is still viable, guys. Basically what they're doing with two-handed is they're going to, of course, you saw that they're reverting it back to the original. It's basically going to buff it by 4%, in which they also buffed Howling Blast still by like 13%, which is just an all-around buff from two-handed from where we started with to begin with. So we're stronger than what we were in 6.1 to begin with two-handed. So in the end, we're going to come out ahead on this, guys. Either way, if we're forced to switch back or whatnot, of course. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, guys, don't fret out as much. I got you covered.